Our NASCAR career mode finishes up the West Coast swing today, where we, on the NASCAR Xfinity Series side of things, were able to do something that we had not done before. In our second season of Xfinity Series racing for Junior Motorsports and the number 8 iRacing Chevrolet, we were able to pick up the victory for the first time in our career, holding off Chip Ganassi prospect of Ross Chastain. Absolutely awesome to finally visit victory lane in the Xfinity Series and hopefully raise our stock as we continue to look to be a full-time Cup Series driver. And unfortunately this weekend, we did not have a ride in the Cup Series race, so we do not get to take in any of the action on the NASCAR Cup Series side of things for Auto Club. But what we did do was get another opportunity after our success last time out in Las Vegas with Rick Ware Racing. We will be driving the number 52 for them again at Phoenix, as Martin Truex Jr. actually started on pole and won in Auto Club, as well as picking up career win 27, that is, and as well, member of the 19 car Mike Bowman actually picks up the win as a 19 car tire carrier. So we come through to a week later where we had now been given an opportunity to get back behind the wheel of a Cup car with Rick Ware Racing, and absolutely excited to get behind the wheel of this number 52 car one more time. And of course the expectations aren't super high when you drive for Rick Ware Racing. Now the expectations really is if you can finish in the top 30, it's an absolutely incredible day. And I was feeling pretty confident because right off the bat we were actually able to find a bit of speed and pass my teammate here of Joey Gase into turn number 3. So a sign of things to come is we're kind of struggling a little bit with the balance of this car under braking a lot here in practice, and that was something I definitely had some concerns over now. But outside of that, the speed itself felt pretty good, and I was going into the end of practice and kind of focused in on qualifying, thinking, you know what, we might actually have a pretty competitive weekend. And of course we had a top 10 in the Daytona 500 for Spire Motorsports, number 77. We had a top 15 for Rick Ware Racing in Las Vegas. Can we keep that up here? Of course, the Las Vegas race was just a lot of luck. That's the only reason we finished where we did with strategy. But, I mean, hopefully today we can have a strong result as well. Look at that beautiful paint scheme as well. Shout out to Sanok Manic. Made that paint scheme looks absolutely phenomenal. So now we come through into qualifying with a goal of a 26.924 as we'll head down towards turn number 1, and you get one shot to make this happen here as we roll through these first couple of corners now. And actually a nice just setup through 1 and 2, and we'll get up against the wall here down the back straight away towards turn number 3, as we get right on that yellow line now through the Geico restart zone, off turn 4, right up to the wall, and we will end up with a 26.879, putting us very, very well up the grid. P20 halfway through this grid, and very happy with that. And looking at the rest of your qualifying order, how about Matt DiBenedetto? Shout out to Matt DiBenedetto picking up his first career pole with the Wood Brothers Racing team. As you see, rounding up the top 10, Clint Boyer and a few others as well. But a very strong effort for that 21 Wood Brothers team. And at the very back of the grid, you as well got Joey Gase, Nemechek, as well as Chad Fincham, as we're ready to go racing on Sunday afternoon here from Phoenix, Arizona. And we're ready to roll here from Phoenix, Arizona now, and well, we actually do move up a position due to Joey Logano sent to the back of the field after replacing a transmission as well. I mean, not only him going to the back, you got the number 32 of Corey LaJoie going to the back after giving up his qualifying position for some new tires. As well, the Chip Ganassi Racing number 1 driver of Kurt Busch, they had an unapproved body modification during qualifying. They're sent to the back with a lot of work to do to go forward here.
Is this back in your wheelhouse so you can get that first win of the season in number 10 here?
I don't know, Jeff. I think the weekend's gone so far so good. The one thing I can tell you is the cars drive a lot different than what they have in the past with the stagger in the back and the way that the cars are loose up off the corner. And then you add in the PJ1 where does your balance need to be on the car? So there's still some things that we have to learn.
But since the 48 team arrived here at Phoenix, they had to hit the reset button. It has been a struggle to find speed in both practice sessions and then in qualifying. He was just off the pace. He qualified 21st, but crew chief Cliff Daniels and Jimmy Johnson very optimistic this 48 team will bring it back and they will race better than they practice.
A short interview with Kevin Harvick and as well a bit of a report on the 48 of Jimmy Johnson as we get ready to kick off this weekend here from Phoenix. And it's going to be green flag racing. Matt DiBenedetto and Kyle Busch lead the field down towards turn 1. I cut down on the apron immediately there, cut through that dog leg on the run into turn number 1, fan back up the racetrack. And now we'll be alongside a few of these guys here trying to make an aggressive start and gain some ground. How about the Levine family racing number 95 rookie driver of Christopher Bell up there in the conversation. 25 laps in this opening stage, and we've already gotten up to 16th place now. Probably don't have the speed to hold it, I would not expect, but Kevin Harvick to the lead. Matt DiBenedetto's already dropped out of the top 5 in 1 lap. That is outrageous. At 21, not showing good speed or just maybe had a bad start, but Kyle Larson's Chip Ganassi 42 Chevrolet for Credit One Bank on the hood of that car. They're up to P2. Kevin Harvick, of course, known as a master of Phoenix Raceway. Would not surprise anybody to see him get to victory lane here today now as we are now racing around Ryan Newman and, of course, the Roush Fenway team last time out in Las Vegas had one heck of a race there, picking up the win with Chris Buescher for the second time in his NASCAR career in the Cup Series anyways. And now Chris Buescher and Roush Fenway know they have at least one driver locked into the playoffs for this season, so big day for that team now as of course 2020 we still had that timeline of the win and you're in format now. As you can see, we're starting to go backwards now. Here comes Jimmy Johnson to my inside. Hendrick Motorsports not looking the fastest here so far this weekend. Looks like the 48 might have some pace here. As you heard it in the pre-race, they do expect to hopefully find some speed, but right now, I mean, the 88 of Alex Bowman's up in the top 10, but you can see from here there's a big space between Alex Bowman and the cars in front. He's actually holding up a whole group of cars, so that tells me that Exalta 88 right now is struggling for some speed. William Byron here in the Hertz number 24, the yellow car just in front of McDowell. He's kind of backing up. Jimmy Johnson's slowly making some progress forward, but it definitely seems like these Hendrick cars don't have a lot of speed here this weekend now, as Kyle Larson has actually been able to get the lead away from Kevin Harvick. So how about that? Not really what you expect to see is really anybody passing the king here of Phoenix Raceway. And for us, I mean, we started 20th, we moved up, of course, to 19th. We got to P16. Now we've dropped down to 23rd, and we're just kind of hanging on here now. I mean, at the end of the day, again, it's a Rick Ware racing car. We don't really expect to do a whole lot more. The fact that, we're racing with the Hendrick 24 is quite surprising. But, I mean, you can tell the 24 is definitely struggling here for speed from this race now. And we're actually going to pass William Byron as we exit turn number 4 now as Larson continues to lead. In the background, I can see Eric Jones and the DeWalt number 20 for Joe Gibbs Racing trying to work his way forward, not having a great start either, as we are now already approaching halfway through stage number 1. Jimmy Johnson's kind of started to fade a little bit here now, and I can see Alex Bowman's going backwards as well, as into the outside wall, Timmy Hill, number 66. Caution is out for the first time for cause, and everybody eventually decides they're going to come into the pits here, get some 4 tires, as well as fill it up on fuel, and we'll get ready to go green here for what's going to now be a semi-late stage restart now, as we'll make some adjustments and actually went up on the wedge here from 50.0 to 50.3, just trying to get a little bit more of that snug feeling, because on the entrance of the corner, I'm really struggling with the back end of the car kind of trying to step out, and that's kind of throwing me off on all these corner entries now, as it's going to be green flag racing the view from the pit lane. 10 laps to go here in stage number 1 of this 25 lap stage, now starting lap 16 as we're on the outside here now. And look at this, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to the inside of Jimmy Johnson, says thank you very much here. Johnson, of course, in his farewell season of NASCAR Cup Series competition. At the end of the year, when we get to the end of the season, we'll be right back here at Phoenix to finalize his NASCAR Cup Series career. Now, Jimmy Johnson has mentioned in the media recently that he does want to explore different ideas and looking at maybe ownership, racing in other series of motorsport as well. So it sounds like Jimmie Johnson, is far from done in terms of being involved in motorsport, which is exciting to hear. As now look to my inside, didn't even realize he was running behind us. Chase Elliott in the number 9 Universe car. He's having a rough race as well, as now Kurt Busch just took us 3 wide, and he is now starting to march his way forward here. He passes me, he passes Elliott, he passes Byron, all in one corner now with 6 laps to go here in stage number 1 now, and we are in a battle with Hendrick Motorsports, who are just completely off here this weekend from Phoenix right now, as Elliott though is actually going to give the bumper to the 24, and that kind of shot him up. Looks like he kind of regressed right there and let him have the spot back, but it shot me up the racetrack with the contact. So we dropped down to 25th now in front of that 13 of Ty Dillon. Now as we got an issue, the 95 here on lap 22. Bell blowing up down the back straightaway. Elliott had to lift. We get through there, and Bell is going to have to limp it back around to the pit lane here with just a couple laps to go in stage number 1, as he should be able to get it back to the pits without hopefully causing too much chaos, and he will in fact get it to the pit lane there. I can confirm this is not the end of the race for Christopher Bell. He's actually still going to be in it. So 1 lap to go here in stage 1, and we're right here with the Hertz 24 of Byron. Such an ugly shade of yellow on that car, but as we roll through 1 and 2, we're going to pass him and clear him on the exit of the corner, as Kyle Larson, actually not quite clear the 24, but Kyle Larson holds off Matt DiBenedetto, who rallies back to P2 as Larson picks up the stage win and a playoff point, as we just sailed it off into turn 3 knowing the caution was coming, and we end up in 22nd here in stage number 1. Hendrick Motorsports 20th or worse for 3 of their cars, and Alex Bowman not even in the top 15 as well as the highest driver, as everybody will come back to the pits. How about Bubba Wallace as well for the 43 Richard Petty Motorsports team in the top 10, having a great run as well. So we'll come in, we'll get our 4 tires and fill this thing back up on gas, and as well looking at some more adjustments, because still not happy with the way the rear end was feeling on entrance. So yeah, I mean, still making a little bit of a wedge adjustment, a tape adjustment, as well as the tire pressure adjustment. We gained 1 spot in the pit lane. This Rick Ware Racing pit crew gets us out in P21, having an absolutely stellar race for Rick Ware Racing standards, as here we go. Green flag is back out. Kyle Larson from the spotter stand. You get a beautiful view here from the Fan Shield 500 from Phoenix Raceway, and Larson leads over Blaney and DiBenedetto through 1 and off towards turn 2, heading down that back straightaway. Martin Truex Jr., your winner from Auto Club there, side by side with the 18 of Kyle Busch. How about all of Joe Gibbs Racing pretty well up there in the conversation, aside from the 20 of Eric Jones. Now as Larson leads off turn 4 and will complete the opening lap of stage 2 after winning stage 1 out in front here, still as I'm 3 wide in the middle right now between the 37 of Ryan Preece and as well on my outside the 34 of Michael McDowell. Now as we continue clearing the 34 on the exit of turn 2 as we run in the top 20. Now I got into the top 20 again by cutting down on that dog leg on the restart and getting pretty aggressive into turn number 3 as we have a bit of contact. Speaking of 3 wide, Kurt Busch through the inside, and here comes Jimmy Jam as well. Jimmie Johnson back through into 19th, and more contact here. We keep getting forced 3 wide because here comes Michael McDowell to the inside as well into turn 1, and now he'll clear us as well as we once again fall outside of the top 20, which I'm not too worried about because we don't expect to be in the top 20 in a Rick Ware Racing car. So 22nd, like I said, that in itself is an accomplishment for the equipment that we're in. So I'm quite happy with where we're at, and I think we're doing a great job as this young Canadian coming back into, NASCAR Cup racing after a week off in Auto Club where we were only in the Xfinity Series. And I mean, just doing an absolutely phenomenal job here now as we come to lap 9 of the stage. At this point, keep in mind, 37 laps of racing here in stage 2, a lot more racing in stage 2 compared to stage number 1. So we will have the potential for a green flag pit stop now. If a caution comes out now, we can make it on fuel. I believe you can go 25 or 26 laps on gas. However, the tires can't really last that long. Tires kind of give up. Hold on. Around goes Joey Logano, and that's going to bring out the caution. The Penske number 22 goes around, and that's actually going to be the end of the day for Joey Logano as Kyle Larson leads over Hamlin and De Benedetto, as will again make a slight wedge adjustment, come in. Everybody comes in for 4 tires, as well as guys. You can actually go 27 laps on fuel. There you have it. So, however, you can't go 27 laps on tires. I know that for a fact, as we'll get ready to go back racing. Now, Christopher Bell actually has been given the free pass. He's been in the race ever since that engine issue. And I believe Christopher Bell is back on the lead lap as we go back racing here with 20 laps to go. And again, cut down on that dog leg now. We got to gain the track position on these restarts because we know we'll just fade. If we don't make these moves on the restarts, we'll probably find ourselves, kind of in the back half of the top 20. We'll be like 25th, 26th, 27th. We don't want to be back there with those guys now. So we're getting aggressive on these restarts. I'm sure the field is not thrilled with a part-time rookie coming in and racing like that. But I mean, I'm not here to cater, to these guys. I'm here to make my name known, and part of doing that is you got to make some big and bold moves, and we're going to do whatever we have to do. What are we willing to do to win cup races? Well, you're going to find out as this career mode goes on, because we're not going to be afraid to lay the bumper to anybody and trying to get some, success here in the Cup Series now, and it might be a while till we're in a position to even have that success now. I mean, right now we're not in cars that are even close to capable of winning NASCAR Cup Series races outside of a super speedway, as we are now, again, already starting to fade a little bit here now as things calm down. We're down to P20. Kyle Larson continues to lead this race here now as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to the inside. And how about the JTG Doherty cars running both pretty well here in the top 20 now. And once Stenhouse completes the pass, he will be in the top 20. And of course, with his teammate of Ryan Preece there in P19. Just strong runs all around for these two drivers, which is fantastic to see. And we do have one of our members on the 47 team. That's 3DWR8. That is the spotter for that number 47 team. So great to see them having a solid run into the outside wall. Tire down, 13. Ty Dillon, caution is out, and that is going to give us again a restart with around the final 10 laps here of stage number 2. That was a big impact for that number 13. And now again, we'll be lining up on the inside. Kyle Larson, Martin Truex Jr. will lead us back to the green flag. It's going to be 11 laps to go here in stage 2, and the same thing we did earlier now to the inside. 3 wide with Ryan Preece and Stenhouse into turn number 1. Larson leads through the corner now as we continue all the way down on the apron. Will be 3 wide with your winner from Las Vegas of Chris Buescher in race 2 of the season. How about the 41 Cole Custer having a great run here as a rookie as well for Stewart-Haas Racing. Now, you notice like Cole Custer's car has like orange rims. I don't know what causes that, but like every episode there's just a random car that has like weird colored rims. No clue what's causing that. I've never seen that bug in NASCAR Heat before. So yeah, genuinely not a clue what could be causing that. But if I do figure it out, we will, of course, fix that. If any of you know maybe what's causing that, please let me know down below in the comments so then we can get on top of that. But yeah, right now, not a clue. But once again, come lap 30, everything's calmed down again, and sure enough, we start to kind of go back down the order. It's a very repetitive process in this race for our competition and myself, as we take advantage of everybody, to be honest, on the restarts, and then we kind of, start to tumble down the order. But to my surprise, we would actually hold on to P20 here to the final lap of this stage and kind of keep everyone behind us at bay. I don't think we're going to be able to do that in the final stage, but nonetheless, 1 lap to go here in stage number 2, and Kyle Larson is in complete control down the back straightaway, looking for his first win of the season. Most recently won at Dover last season in 2019 in the playoffs. But Kyle Larson off turn 4 wins stage 2 over Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney. How about rookie Tyler Reddick up there in the top 5 for Richard Childress Racing, having a great little run there as we will be P20 in stage 2. Christopher Bell has worked his way back up to 22nd. Great drive there, as right now, William Byron, Johnson, Elliott, Bowman, man, I'm just really focused on Hendrick here. They're just having such a poor performance here from Phoenix now, as we'll come in for tires and fuel again and get ready to go green. This time, not really looking for any adjustments now as we get ready for this final stage. The question is, at this point, who can bring the fight to Kyle Larson? He has clearly been in control all race long ever since he took the lead. Now, is it going to be Hamlin? Could it be Ryan Blaney, the king of Phoenix? Kevin Harvick really hasn't shown up to the extent I thought he would. Let's find out. Stage 3 underway, and it's going to be 41 laps to go. 69 laps we had just started on now is a little bit of a nice flyby there with the camera set up on the wall, and Kyle Larson actually has now given up the lead. Ryan Blaney has gotten to his inside in turn 1, off turn 2, down the back straightaway. Now Ryan Blaney to the lead here from Phoenix. Could this be the changing of the tides now? Larson gets in behind him. How about Ryan Newman up there in the conversation? Ryan Newman was in the conversation as well in Las Vegas, had a very sporty run there in that number 6 now. Going to be curious to see if he can maybe continue to find some success here. And I believe, honestly, I think Ryan Newman's last win was right here in Phoenix back in like 2017 or something like that. So 3 wide around the outside of the 24, and so many Hendrick cars right here. You got Alex Bowman now to the inside. Jimmy Johnson's the best running Hendrick cars. He's actually getting closer to a top 10 running position as this race goes on. So Cliff Daniels, of course, his first season as a full-time crew chief is, well, I'll give him some credit. He's doing a pretty solid job right now with that 48 as we actually catch the outside wall there on the exit of turn 4 now as you make a bit of a mistake now, and we have dropped the 23rd come lap 73, still battling with this number 24 of William Byron here as now Matt Benedetto, I was about to call him Matt Benedetto, the former driver, the number 95, Christopher Bell now, Rookie of the Year contender, is here in the conversation to try and pass both myself and Byron as Ryan Blaney continues to lead this race. So now that Kyle Larson's dropped out of the lead, definitely seems like it's hard to get it back now as we're 3 wide. Through goes Bell. Myself and Byron continue side by side just in front of the 24 of Chase Elliott, now clearing the 24 finally and jump down right in front of him here on lap 75, coming to 76 here, and we maintain this 23rd position. Christopher Bell not really able to drive away from me at this point now, but a few laps later, lap 79, Kyle Larson has now returned to the lead of this race. So he's gotten himself back in front of the number 12 of Ryan Blaney. Caution is out, and it's right up there in front of us, the 37 of Priest with with an engine gone. Engine smoke pouring out of the back of that car. That might be the end of the day for him, and this is going to change things up because we've got very split strategy. Hamlin's coming in. Most of the field is staying out, and by the time we would go green, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney, as well as many others would pit. So Larson, Blaney, Hamlin, Keselowski, Benedetto, Harvick, Boyer, Buescher, Stenhouse, Suarez, and Priest, who's still in the race, would all pit. So with 27 laps to go, here's the situation. They can make it on gas. They are good. Everyone else stays out, and we're all gambling on the same thing. Those guys are trying to stretch their tires, not convinced they can do that. We are, of course, going to have to pit again, and honestly, best case scenario, we got 16 laps of fuel right now. We're not going to be able to go that far because the tires just, they don't really last that long. So we're going to have to pit probably in about 10, 11, maybe 12 laps or so. And we just honestly would prefer a caution after about 5 to 7 laps maybe, and then that would put us in a better tire situation. But of course, I mean, you're just kind of gambling here, and that's kind of the hope now. Because, yeah, I mean, those guys that just pitted, like Kyle Larson, Hamlin, Blaney, all those guys that have been dominating this race are now having to work their way through traffic, which could very well create a new winner here out of that mix of drivers that we maybe didn't see coming. But it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to get through this field faster than the other now as we are approaching lap 90, coming up on 20 laps to go at this point. As you can see, starting to struggle a little bit with the rear end on the entrance of the corner as these tires continue to wear here from Phoenix Raceway now. And as we approach lap 90, you might notice the big Rattlesnake Hill in the background as well in turns 1 and 2 with the big Toyota signage on it now. There's fans that actually enjoy the race from that perspective up on that hill. You can see the tents right there, and look at the view from that Rattlesnake Hill. Absolutely fantastic view right there of the cars going by. So as we continue on, as these tires continue to wear, as we get closer to coming back into the pits and hoping that a caution is coming, but you can already see my mirror starting to fill up with cars. It's faster cars behind Byron, and they're going to get past Byron, and then they're going to pass me. It's the 2 of Keselowski that's made the most progress of the guys that have pitted. It's not been Larson, it's not been Blaney, and here comes Keselowski to my inside, followed by Denny Hamlin. These two know they need to make those tires last to the end, so they got to be careful. Through goes Keselowski, your net leader of this race. Hamlin, Blaney behind us. Kyle Larson is at the back of that group behind us. He's even got Kevin Harvick in front of him. Larson's going to have to make a lot of passes as my tire warning is already on, 20% of the right rear, and we still have 8 laps of gas remaining. So, I mean, we're going to have to pit, within the next lap or two with these tires. As here goes Ryan Blaney through as well. And then as we come to lap 94, I decided to jump down to the inside, and my goodness, the car just steps right out. And we're going to come into the pits now. I could have gone maybe 2 more laps, but I just said, let's come in now. And, I mean, we just kind of got to bite the bullet. We were hoping a caution would come, but it does not seem like that caution is coming. So we get our 4 tires on, we fill it up on fuel, and we'll get ready back to get on this track, and hopefully things kind of work out here now, as we know the majority of the field is in the same strategy that we are. So we're probably just going to end up back to where we were originally, around like 20th or so, I would imagine, once this is all said and done. But we pit, a few laps earlier than pretty well everybody else. But now Ryan Newman comes in from the lead, hands it over to Kyle Busch, who's going to then have to come in as well a few moments later. And eventually the lead will be handed over to that duo of Keselowski and Hamlin. Now as Johnson takes the lead briefly, he's going to have to come in as well, as we actually crack the outside wall. They're pushing a little bit too hard on the exit of the corner. Denny Hamlin has taken the lead now with 10 laps to go over Brad Keselowski. As you can see him now leading, there's Johnson and as well the 34 just in front of them. And Larson currently is in P3 after passing Harvick and Blaney. How about Boyer having a great run as well? Clint Boyer, that is, now, as we are 25th currently. Now, here's something important to note. Everyone that pitted after me, they only took 2 tires. They took 2 tires. So we took 4, and we are making it count in these closing laps, because as the pit cycle has run its course, we're up to 23rd, and we very quickly run down Chase Elliott, who continues to have a miserable day here for Hendrick Motorsports now, as Denny Hamlin continues to lead. But again, can they make it to the end with the tires? We know they should be able to make it on fuel, not by much. I mean, they can go 27 laps on fuel, and we went back green with 27 laps to go. So we do know it's still close for those guys as we continue through 3 and off turn 4. And we're getting reports that Denny Hamlin is close on gas, and they might not have enough to make it to the end of this race. So keep an eye on that number 11 FedEx Toyota Camry as we clear the 9 of Chase Elliott and move up into 22nd position. Can we run down Christopher Bell before this race is over for P21? Can Denny Hamlin make it is the big question now, as we got an engine issue there on the 37 of Priest. Again, the second time he comes back in, and we're running down Bell, but we are a lap down, by the way, as Hamlin's coming in. Hamlin cannot make it. The number 11 gives up the lead. Hamlin runs out of fuel. They need to come in, and that hands the lead to the 2 of Brad Keselowski as he's coming to the final lap. It's 1 lap to go right now for the number 2 of Keselowski, because, of course, when we all pitted, we lost a lap. So we are 1 lap down, coming to the white flag at this point now, as I don't think we're going to quite get to Christopher Bell, as Brad Keselowski down the back straightaway one more time into turn 3. Didn't really quite have him inked down as the driver I expected to win, but it's going to be career win 31 for Keselowski. Kyle Larson in second over Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick as well, and Brad Keselowski ties Kurt Busch at 31 career wins, as we are going to bring it home in 21st position. I'm quite satisfied with that. And P21 in a Rick Ware racing car, to me, is a very successful day. So I really think, again, we turned heads here now, as you see your finishing order now. And how about Daniel Suarez on that strategy to pit with those leaders? Ends up in the top 10 as well. Great strategy for them. Hamlin still ends up 11th, even with running out of gas. As well, one of the members of the 2 team as well, the Jackman, the first Toilet, picks up his first win, as well as a career mode lower member as well. So shout out to Toilet and congratulations on the win. As Jimmy Johnson ends up 34th, as well as Martin Truex Jr. leads the overall standings. And next episode we head into Atlanta, where again currently we don't have a Cup Series ride lined up. Will that change? I hope so, but we will find out in the next episode when we take on Atlanta, but we might just be focused in on trying to win the Xfinity Series race. That does it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.
I want you back. you